Hello, and welcome to Business Matters, the show about people behind businesses that help make Tacoma a great place to live and work. I'm your host, Mike Wark, and on today's program, we'll grill our own food at Tacoma Zodiac Supper Club on Business Spotlight. And in this edition of Tacoma Means Business, Andrew Fry will help us get creative to create a logo for our own company. And today, our guest is Ali Criss, CFP and Managing Partner and Co-owner of Financial Insights. Welcome, Ali.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here and representing a firm that's been providing financial advice to individuals, nonprofits, and business in Tacoma for years. I'm glad we have you on the program today. Tell us about Financial Insights.
So Financial Insights is a fee-only investment advisory firm. We've been registered with the SEC since 1981, and we provide mainly investment management and retirement planning for Pierce County.
And again, individuals, whether you're coming in to learn how to invest your own funds for your retirement, but you also provide planning to companies and nonprofits. You said fee only. What does that mean?
Distinction, fee only on for investment management means that we do not charge commissions, and we don't use share classes of particular investments that charge commissions. So we just charge a flat fee, which is a different way of billing than other companies.
So I know coming in, I'll pay this fee, and I don't know what other things are tacked on. Is that part of the idea behind fee only, or?
Yeah, just an annual fee based on assets under management. There aren't any hidden fees, and we don't do any sort of commissions, which kind of it takes away any sort of impetus for us to trade in our clients' accounts.
Right, as far as you make sure that all the trades are in the benefit of the client, not whoever you're trading, which is something that happens out there sometimes.
Correct.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. So if you're a certified financial planner, which is a very specialized sort of certification, I know it's a lot of work to get that. What is that about? How does that prepare you to do this work?
So the Certified Financial Planner designation is kind of an added level of schooling that you can take as a financial advisor. You do a few years worth of classes and take a test around investments, retirement planning, fiduciary principles, and then you're under a board of standards with the Certified Financial Planning Board.
And you've been doing this for how long?
I've been a CFP for 3 years, and I've been working for Financial Insights for 10 years.
So you bring a ton of experience to this work. And you mentioned Pierce County. Is that primarily where your clients come from?
Yeah, I'd say over 80% of our clients are in Pierce County. We do have clients as far-reaching as Florida and South America.
And do you go visit them?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good part of the business to me. I'll sign up for that. But most people are local, and they come to you for advice on how to manage their finances for retirement, right?
Correct.
And can you tell me a little bit about your client base and what they're looking for and how you work with them?
So most people come in basically either they are needing some assistance on their retirement plans, they don't understand how they work, they need some added education, they'd like to open up an IRA or a Roth IRA to do some additional retirement savings. So we do investment management and also some retirement planning for those clients. We have small businesses that come in to figure out what the best basically employee plan for their employees would be, whether that be a simple IRA or a 401k plan, and we administer those plans for business owners as well. And then we try to meet with all of those clients on a yearly basis to make sure that they're following the plan that we set in place, to make sure that their investments are performing in accordance with what their risk tolerance is, and also to facilitate education as we move forward in everyone's lives.
That's really interesting. So starting with the individuals, it sounds like you have some people who come to you in their 40s and meet with you regularly and have you manage a portfolio, and others who may work for an institution where they have some sort of 401k or retirement plan and they're nearing retirement. They just come in for, say, to learn more, getting advice on how to make that transition into retirement. Is that right? Correct,
yeah. A lot of our clients will come in maybe 6 months out of retirement. Maybe they've never worked with a financial advisor and they just don't understand maybe what their plan is or how it works, or pre-tax, post-tax. Maybe they don't understand even how it rolls out when they retire. Do they have a pension? Do they understand how their pension options work? And so people will come in to get education to say, okay, I'm 6 months out from retirement. I don't know what to do. Can you talk to me about what I have here at work? Can you talk to me about Social Security and how that plays in? When do I take it? Can you talk to me about medical? Medical benefits are huge, so we help people through the Medicare system.
Yes.
We figure out whether or not their employer adds on medical up until they are applicable for Medicare. And so we just kind of work with people to facilitate that stage.
So people are probably a little nervous. They think, I maybe feel embarrassed that they don't know this stuff or more about it, and they come to you. So it's good to know that a lot of people probably come to you in that situation.
Absolutely. You know, most everyone who walks through the door has varying levels of how much they understand their retirement planning, but I mean, at least 80% might not know anything, and they come in and we really try to facilitate education and teach people exactly what they hold and exactly how everything works together.
Very comfortable place to come. And it's right on Ruston Way, right?
Correct. Yeah, we're right across from Shenanigans on Ruston Way.
So that's someplace I'd want to go anyway. It's fun to hang out there. So you also probably get people who are younger and are thinking in advance, well, they might not know, but they want to find out if they're doing the right things or maybe if they can add on to their retirement. Is that another kind of group that you get?
Correct, yeah. We kind of saw a gap. We didn't, most firms don't have a young professionals program.
Right.
There really isn't a whole lot of revenue in that space. And so we tried to figure out how we could provide the same services for our retiree and close to retired clients to the young professionals. So last year we rolled out a young professionals program, mainly under 40, where we do basically retirement planning. We make sure they're contributing to their plans at work. You know, is there a match? Again, we just go over the same principles, but kind of at an earlier stage for those clients and on a different fee schedule.
That's really interesting. It sounds like something that is real value for younger people in Tacoma to know that this is a business that is really focused on helping young people understand and afford to come in and get some advice on how to prepare long-term for retirement. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of your objective there? To develop a sort of specialty for millennials and younger people?
Absolutely. I mean, we want to make sure that people get in and start planning early. You know, the earlier you get in and start saving, the more it will benefit you. I mean, studies will show and statistics will show if you start saving at age 25, you know, you could be saving a smaller amount that someone starts at 40, but just over a longer period of time. You know, the time value of money is huge, and we want to make sure that people start saving as early as possible and facilitate that savings and that education.
And if you're younger when you learn about this sort of thing, the benefits can be huge down the road. So that's really a good thing. Yeah. And I just think it's wonderful that in Pierce County we have a business like yours that's thinking about how to help people like that, and acknowledging that maybe you need a different fee structure to do it because they can't afford it, maybe they aren't thinking about it. I understand you've actually done some research in this area?
Yeah, this year we did our first round of research. We did a millennial study, over 100, mostly Pierce County, some out of the state. Millennials took the study. It was on investment knowledge and education and how are people saving and how do they feel about financial advisors. And we're just now compiling all of the results, and it's been really fascinating, and it will help us facilitate our program moving forward.
So you're learning how they think and why they're resistant to advice and what they're looking for and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
So make you even better at serving that audience.
Yeah, figure out how our business model can change. I mean, post-2008, I have to say a lot of the millennials, especially with technology and everything that's happening, they want to do things on their own. They want to go to Vanguard, which is great. We love Vanguard. But, you know, we try to figure out how we can cater to somebody who basically saw 2008 happen. They saw all of this destruction in the way of the financial markets.
Sure.
They saw all of these financial advisors getting jailed and, you know, all these negative things happening. And how do we bring people back and try to really educate and bring in that generation to facilitate the savings after an event like that? And so some of our studies will help us in basically creating an environment that caters to them.
How to invest safely and smartly in the wake of such a terrible financial episode that we had.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. And it's also interesting from a business sense that you're looking at it as how do you adjust your business model to support this group, who are your future? You look long term, that's your future.
Yeah.
So it's also interesting to me that you work with small business people. So if I own a small business and I decide it's time for me to set up some sort of a retirement function for my employees, that'd be a great benefit. It'd help me keep them on board, but I have no idea what that involves. I can come to you for that as well?
Correct, yeah.
How does that work?
Well, normally when we meet with either the HR department or the business owner, we'll discuss the different options. You know, it's not always a 401k. For some small businesses, maybe simple IRAs or other plans that are maybe less expensive to administer and are more appropriate for a smaller business. So we can sit and discuss what the options are and what they're looking for and what they're willing to contribute or not contribute and try to make a plan that works with their business. So
it sounds, if I were a small business, I think that sounds like a huge complicated thing, but you just made it sound easy. And you also will meet with their employees on a regular basis. So
correct.
Not only do you set it up and manage it for them and explain it to them in simple ways, but you meet with their employees and inform them of their options, and that's really cool.
Yeah, on a yearly basis, we like to meet with all the employees or the HR department, depending on how they'd like to see it structured. But we have quite a few where we'll come in, we actually go into their workplace, we meet with their employees on a yearly basis, we explain what the plan is, we'll look at how their accounts have performed over the last year, we'll talk about what's going on in their lives, and kind of do a mini, planning structure that we do with our normal business model.
And you also do this for nonprofits. Is that a sort of a different approach, or?
No, it's the same thing. Normally just a different account type. Most nonprofits are administering a 403B, but we do the exact same yearly meetings and whatnot with them as well.
So, how did you get into this line of business? What made you interested in you're leading a business and you got the CFP? Was that your entry point, the CFP? And
I started filing at an advisory firm when I was very young. I've always been a math and science person. I kind of went forward. I did theater for a while, and actually my undergraduate degree's in theater, and I actually did some technical directing for a couple different theaters, and then kind of circled back around to kind of my math business roots, and just kind of took it from there. I started at the bottom. I interned. I worked at the front desk. I did paperwork. I then did client service, which worked into paraplanner, which worked into associate advisor, and now I'm one of the lead advisors at Financial Insights now.
And a co-owner.
And a co-owner.
Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah,
so if you're interested in an area and you find your passion for what you want to do, you're an example of how you can really go after it and be successful.
Yeah.
So any advice for our audience out there? Anything that you'd like to leave them with at the end of the program?
Oh, geez. I would say just start saving early, keep saving, and educate yourself as much as possible. Google's a phenomenal research to get started on investing in retirement.
And if you need help figuring out how to have a bright future, come see Ali at Financial Insights.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
Stay tuned. Coming up next is Andrew Fry, who's going to share some tips on creating logos for your company after this break. Logos can make or break a business. On this edition of Tacoma Means Business, Andrew Fry focuses on the decisions you should consider when creating your company's identity.
So today I want to talk to you a little bit about logos. Logos are incredibly important to a company, and something that I assign in my class when people are putting together business plans, because it makes you think a little bit more about your company. It makes you think, what is it that I want to represent my brand in a pictorial form? And logos, although they seem very simple, are sometimes very difficult to create and create well. So oftentimes you need to go out and get professional help in order to build your logo. I'm actually hearing that from a few local businesses right now who are trying to get started, and they say, I need a logo. Okay, so if you're going to build a logo, what are you going to do? I want to give you a few considerations that you want to think about. First is, of course, what fits your budget? Now, you can actually spend a lot of money on a logo. I myself, during the course of my career, have spent $10,000 on a logo campaign and $99 on a logo for a very small business that I was helping out. And the truth of it is, I think I kind of like the $99 logo just a little bit better. But it fit the budget, and that's the important thing. How much do you have? Don't spend everything on your logo, but make sure that you understand how important it's going to be and how long it's going to stay with you and your company. The next thing you want to do is think about, what are your options? Where can you go? I mentioned a very big spectrum of cost for logos, and it came from two very different companies. One a very well-known professional organization that you'd recognize their logos if I told you what they were. And the other one, a small artist who was trying to generate a little bit of additional revenue. So there are other options as well for you. You can go to a small company, you can go to a large company, you can go to online logo creation services, or you might go to an artist friend and say, would you help me out with my logo? You've got a lot of different options. When you look into those options, make certain that you check out their portfolios. This is going to be up to you to decide which is the logo that's going to represent your company. So take a look. Do they have sort of a standard look practice? Do they have an eclectic mix of ideas? Are they focused on an industry that you're pursuing? And when you look at the portfolio, you can also get a better sense, is this someone I want to work with? Am I going to get back the value that I'm putting in for my budget? So now that you've looked at the portfolio and you've selected the option, you have to be prepared to start asking questions. Ask them, have you ever worked with a company my size? Ask them, do you understand the business that I'm in? Ask them, what do you think is important in a logo and how it would benefit me? Make sure that you get ready to ask a few questions. On the flip side, if you choose them, get ready to answer some questions, because they have to make certain that they do you right by their logo, and they need to know a little bit more about your company, what you do, what your expectation is, where this logo is going to appear. Are you going to blow it up and put it on a big neon sign, or just going to keep it to your card and some letterhead? So make sure that you're ready to answer their questions as well. And then finally, you should discuss what the expectations are and how long it's going to take to deliver the product. If you need a logo tomorrow, well, probably going to end up actually going with a cheaper logo service, sort of that 24-hour logo service. But if you're looking at something, you want to be very serious about what they're going to be delivering you. You want to do some customer reviews. You want to take the time before you actually spend a lot of money on a lot of marketing materials. Then you need to know when that deadline is going to occur. Expectations and deadlines. And those are just some of the considerations that you need to take when you are looking to build a logo. And hopefully when you're all done, you'll have a logo that everyone will remember and associate with your brand.
Thanks, Andrew. For more tips on helping grow your business, check out Tacoma's Community and Economic Development Program at tacomameansbusiness.com. When Business Matters returns, we'll see how customers cook their own meals at a local Tacoma restaurant in the Spotlight. Today in the Spotlight, it's all about good times and good food at the Zodiac Supper Club.
Hi, I'm Dana.
Hi, I'm Suzanne.
And we are at the Zodiac Supper Club in Tacoma, Washington.
Across from the Tacoma Municipal Building off St. Helens Street is the Zodiac Supper Club. It's the new kid on the block featuring spirited beverages and a sizzling twist to dining that puts you in control of your own meal.
The Zodiac Supper Club is a bar and restaurant here in Tacoma. We have a full bar, and we feature special daily cocktails created by our bartenders here. We have tiki cocktails, and we also have a community grill, which basically means that you order your food, we bring it to you, raw steaks, veggie skewers, and you cook it on the community grill here in the bar while you're enjoying your cocktail. It's really a great idea and fun.
Dana says the idea of cook your own is an extension of restaurant styles she experienced while living in San Diego. Steak choices range from ribeye to dry rubbed flat iron. You can order sausage and burgers too, along with plenty of side dishes and desserts.
We also supply all kinds of spices, condiments, anything that you could add to your steak to make it how you want it to be. It's all available.
The Zodiac Supper Club doesn't require reservations. Just walk in and start your evening off with a selection from the menu, or simply have a drink. Suzanne says there's always something going on.
So far we've had a few special events. We've had some theme parties. We had a yacht rock pool party. We have local DJs and spin records, and basically it turns into a dance party.
And if you like music, check out the Zodiac's classic jukebox. It's always on, and better yet, it won't cost you a dime. All selections are free.
People come here and celebrate bachelorette parties, birthdays, and they just want to be in this space because they find it very unique, and it's just a place people come to, so it's great.
Dana points out that the Zodiac Supper Club isn't your typical restaurant. Their focus is on drinks, steaks, and a kind of communal gathering place.
We don't have a lot of TVs playing, or you can't watch the news here, and you grill your own food around a communal grill, so it definitely forces people to sort of interact with each other in ways that they necessarily wouldn't.
The Zodiac Supper Club exists through a three-way ownership group built from long-term friendships and family ties.
Suzanne and I are owners along with my husband Dave, so it's actually the three of us.
Friendship plays an important role with the Zodiac Supper Club's business plan, as does family tradition.
My family owned bars, my grandparents owned a bar, and I had an aunt who owned bars, so I feel like for me it was kind of I just wanted to do it and I didn't know how or when, but it took, it took Suzanne and myself and then my husband to sort of actually, make it a reality. I don't think that any of us could have done it alone.
On our own. There's no way.
Yeah.
Dana and Suzanne say they have a robust staff of dedicated employees who help get the supper club going.
We have 7 employees right now, bartender, server, and kitchen workers.
And they really believe in what we're doing here, which is kind of the biggest thing. They really support us, knowing that this is a new business, knowing that they're taking as big of a risk as we are in opening these doors.
All small businesses start with a dream, but are fed by capital. The money used to get the Zodiac Supper Club going came from some creative sources.
We did an online campaign to get small loans from our friends and family. Like, did it all through like Facebook, email, Twitter, Instagram. It's like completely like web-based.
The whole experience really reiterated how much our friends, family, and the community wanted to see us succeed and get our doors open, because literally we couldn't have done it without them.
Suzanne and Dana could have started their supper club anywhere along the I-5 corridor, but they planted their roots deep in Tacoma for a number of reasons.
There you go.
I love Tacoma, and it's my home, and I'm very happy to be here, and I'm happy to be a part of this community and just giving back. It's amazing.
There was never any question that Tacoma was going to be the place that we opened our business. For me, like, inclusiveness and like the kind of like open arms feeling that Tacoma has is really unmatched anywhere that I've lived.
That's it for Business Matters. Join me next time for more insight into the Tacoma business scene. See you then.